So anyway, there's this area that we haven't touched that had all this stuff for Chunky that I really probably should have gone in first.
Yeah, what?
Because
That's one of the problems I have with these levels, is just watching them, I can't tell where anything is.
Yeah, so for anyone who can't tell where we are right now, at the start of the level, there was a three-way split by the first tag barrel. To the left was the big wide water zone with the sunken ship. To the right was the lighthouse. This is what was straight ahead.
Okay.
So this area was already like open initially. I really probably should have gone in here first, but I kind of got distracted because I found switches that I hit that made things open in the other areas. So I just kind of started going in them first.
Just kind of hit switches and things happen.
And then, you know, the switch is on a timer, so it's like, oh, well, I've got to go do this thing while the timer is ticking down.
Otherwise, you'll forget it.
So, here we've got giant treasure chests that Chunky can just break. Just like Wrinkly said, he doesn't need a key, he's a vandal. And that one had a fairy, and this one has headphones. And now we have 15 triangles, and here's
Just
a
happens
banana.
to have a banana.
So that's this spot. There's a bunch more things in here. Freaking, I don't like the clobber enemy in this game, because you have to kill them with grenades. Like, the kaboom enemies you can kill with just your gun. You shoot them and they explode.
Yeah.
But, you know, the clobber enemies you actually need to make the explosion yourself. Up here, we have narrow walkway that Chunky has to go across for some bananas. So, of course, fall. And there's, we've got Cranky's lab back there. So, there's no new moves to learn in this stage. But there is something to get there now. Because, do you remember, back at the beginning of the game, he said that he would have something special if you collect 15 banana medals. Well, we've got 15 banana medals.
You've got 19.
19, in fact. I don't believe it. You must have made them yourself. I suppose you want my surprise now. I've got this little game for you to play on my computer. Score over 5,000 points for a chance to win the rareware coin. But I know a score like that is way out of your league. Sonny, why not give it a go anyway? I could do with a good laugh.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Here's another game. It's called Jetpack.
Oh, this is an old one.
This game this was made by the company that would eventually become Rare.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was called. It was a weird thing. You gotta like, look it up. It was something like Ultimate Play the Game was the name of the company. Anyway, this game, you've got your direction and you've got a button to go use your jetpack, and you've got a button to shoot your gun. You've got your rocket that you need to reassemble because it's in pieces, and once you've reassembled it, you grab fuel, and as soon as you're like hovering above that column, it'll drop it automatically, and you refuel your rocket. And there's all these hostile aliens here that if you touch them, you explode. And then sometimes there's just like radiation symbols that you pick up, and they give you points. I did not get 5,000 points. I'd be hopeless at a real game. But you can just try again. Okay. So every time you run out of lives, you have to kick out and try again there.
It's a U1 rocket.
Yep. So when you have it, you get in the rocket, and then it blasts off, and it goes to the next screen, which is identical, except this time it'll have a different type of enemy. It's got fuzzies. I would also like to point out the high score.
Is that just like the max value of a 2-bit
It looks very close to the max value of an integer. Anyway, you can see this took me a couple of tries. Also, I found out if you pause the game, you can just delete Cranky's high score. I thought maybe he would say something about it, but no, he didn't. They didn't put that in. So, when you reach 5,000 points, I almost completely missed this. The rareware coin will spawn as a collectible in the game.
And then you have to pick it up.
And I happened to be, like, zooming towards it as it spawned, so, like, I barely saw it.
Rare coin collected.
So, yeah, you reach 5,000 points, and you have to wait for the thing to spawn. And then you pick it up, and then you get the rareware coin, and that's it.
It's weird that a company that isn't Rareware, Ultimate Play the Game, has a rareware coin in it, but...
Again, that company, it was founded by the people who founded Rare.
Yeah.
It was basically, Rare existed because of, like, weird legal things where they sold that company and its licenses, but it was, like, the same people went to found Rare. Anyway, let's get another one of those battle crowns that we don't know what they do. This one is just a bunch of critters. And it's nice and easy, because you've got Lanky can do it. Anyone can be here, but Lanky's good, because he's got the AoE spinning attack moves.
This is just the same thing as we've seen before.
Yeah, except this time it's 4 critters instead of whatever else we saw last time. I don't even remember what we saw other times. The things really blur together. None of these battle arenas are particularly, like, stand out. It's all just survive the place for X time while things spawn forever. I got another crown. Don't know why. There's the crown. There's some stuff for duty around the Cranky place. And yeah, Cranky does not have any new moves for anyone in this stage. Stuff for Tiny over here. Fuck that guy. Fuck him up with music. I do find it amusing the way that, like, the Kasplats will just... Also that.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was a fun physics interaction. And I realized that there's some things that I need the water level to be back low again to get. So, you know, I hit the switch to re-lower the water level. Because, you know, this area was underwater with the water level higher. And you can't really fight this guy while he's in the water. It's, like, you could, but it's annoying. And there's an instrument pad. You cannot play your instrument underwater. And over here is how Chunky gets into that ship in the other area. So, you need to use the slowest character to race across the longest distance. And the water level has to be low for this, because otherwise that pad is underwater. So you need to do the annoying jump up to get through to the other area. And you can't use the warp pad that's by the lighthouse, because you can't reach the lighthouse when the water level is low. So, like, they really went out of their way to make it as annoying as possible. Here's another bonus barrel in there, of course, because just doing a thing isn't enough to get you a banana. You do a thing to get a chance at a banana in a bonus game. Here's another slot machine. You remember the slot machine? Wasn't that a great minigame? Wasn't this just a great minigame?
Not really.
This one has less time than the other one, I think. Is the difference. I got a banana. But I'm almost done with this stage. There's a balloon that I missed. And this balloon that I briefly forgot. That was by the 3 treasure chests. It floats around annoyingly. Those are annoying. Anyway, when I then went to raise the water level again, because I needed the water level back raised for some other things. And, these buttons don't go back out when you've pressed them.
So you need to leave the stage.
You need to leave the world and come back to reset the buttons. And, also, there is actually a second thing on the ship. Cranky specifically, or not Cranky, Chunky. Chunky specifically needs to, ground pound to slam open this, hold.
What in the devil?
Yeah. It's this all wobbly place and there's cannons firing through it.
Why would this
that's
exist?
A place that happens on ships. And you go and you grab the bananas and up, you've got a gate you gotta punch your way through. Because it's Chunky and that's what he does.
He does a punch.
And then there's barrels with his face on them. And what do you do when you see Chunky's face? Well, you go off to grab these coins first.
Oh, okay.
What do you do when you see Chunky's face?
Punch it.
That is the verb that Chunky has. You punch the face and it breaks the barrel.
Oh, it's specifically his face.
It has to be the face. It is like it's got some leeway for like what area counts as being with the face, but you hit all of them and each one spins faster and you get a banana. And once you get a banana,
he really must hate himself if he's punching himself in the face.
when you get the banana, this happens.
Why?
And the controls reverse.
Why?
Because I guess you're seasick?
Why?
Anyway, I decided, just looking at this, no. Just no.
Save and exit.
I was done with the level other than, you know, chopping stuff and giving him the things. So, let's speed our way through individually feeding 250 bananas to a hippo.
Oh, God. Why? Even sped up, it's too slow.
Yeah, it is. So, out here we have pitch black. And Lanky's in a tiny boat. And,
why is Lanky in a tiny boat?
So this stage, this boss, you fight in the boat. The only way you have to know the controls of this boat is if you listened to the seal in that minigame when he explained how to play that minigame. That is the only place in this entire game that explains how to control the boat. So if you didn't play that minigame, or if you missed his explanation because the text was there when you were trying to swim, fuck you!
And of course there's dynamic lights going on.
Of course there's all sorts of ridiculous bad dynamic lighting. So you pilot your boat through the star, and it makes this thing rise up, and now you're on a timer to get more of the things to rise up.
Okay.
So you zoom around on your boat, and you pass through the stars, and when you've done it 5 times, then this happens.
What?
It's electric, and then its pattern changes slightly, and then you do it again.
Why does that exist?
It's a shockwave. I think you can jump over it, but I mostly just avoided it by not being there. I almost died in this boss because there's so much going on.
It's just a lot happening.
So many flashing lights. Like, I've said before that like the recording has been for some of these like eventually I did adjust the brightness on the recording, but here it was still the original. That like the recording is darker than what I've seen on the TV. This was still fucking pitch black on the TV.
Oh, I know why. Because they didn't have to render everything. Because they were having memory problems that required an expansion.
No, because, like, not having the lighting wouldn't actually fix any memory problems. All of these walls and stuff need to be in memory. And, like, they need to be processed by the graphics engine.
You have less time now.
Yeah, you get less time on this cycle. And the stars will spawn, like, further out in weirder places, so you gotta
stars are just like abstract things.
Yep.
It's,
At least they're 3D objects and not 2D sprites. I think. Are they? Actually, were they? Let's look at them again. I can't remember.
it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it is hard to tell with everything flashing lights. Yeah, okay, that is an actual 3D object.
Yeah.
It was not turning to face me, the camera at all times. So, now here, it's just the flashing lights in this area are the worst. It's like this really is just an outright fuck you to anyone who has photosensitivity issues or just doesn't like flashing lights.
It's very hard to look at.
Or, you know, has eyes. Anyway,
Still
now,
going.
this time the tars are smaller, and you have even less time.
Haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not even playing it and I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this was fun?
This part in particular was okay.
I don't know why you need lasers to fight fish.
Well, we fought the fish, and now it's flat. It's flat fish. I like the moon. It's a nice moon. And then the fish exploded into a key. And now we've got decent lighting, but it's still fucking lightning strikes. Constantly.
And that's just Lanky's dumb face.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out that, like, you know, we've been seeing in each stage, you know, it's a different Kong that fights the boss. Lanky's boss, he wasn't even playing Lanky, it was the boat. You were a boat. Lanky didn't really get a boss, a boat got the boss.
Because as we've established, the thing you're writing as is not you.